warriors or Jiva families. Welcome to Growthcast, where we bring stories that change lives. And today it's our privilege to host Dr. Siddesha Arashinagundi, physician from Prisma Health Greenville. Welcome, sir. Dr. Gundi, how are you, sir, today?
Good. Good morning. Good morning, you all.
Good morning, everyone. So, good morning, everyone. So, before we jump on to our today's episode, number 9, so I have a brief introduction about Dr. Gundi. Dr. Siddesha Arashinagundi, MD, is a highly respected internal medicine physician serving in Greenville, South Carolina community for more than 2 decades. He completed his medical education at JJM Medical College, Davangere, Karnataka, India. His internal medicine residency at St. Barnabas Hospital, New York. Board certified in internal medicine, Dr. Gundi is known for his dedication to preventive health care, evidence-based medicine, and compassionate patient care. Throughout his career, he has helped thousands of patients manage both acute and chronic health conditions while emphasizing patient education and healthy living. As a trusted physician at Prisma Health, is committed to empowering individuals to make informed decisions about their health and well-being. Thank you, sir, for all the service you are rendering to the community. Welcome to this today's show.
Thank you for having me here. And
Thank you, sir. So we will go for the first question, sir. Doctor, today's topic is healthy mind, successful life. What every young person should know. The first question, doctor, if you could identify one health habit that is silently harming today's youth the most, what would it be and why parents and students pay attention to it, doctor?
The most important thing for most of the teen, I would say not one, I would say two. The most important thing is self-esteem and motivation. And I think motivation is a byproduct of a self-esteem. And that's a very most two important things that very much needed for the youth. And that requires a lot of other aspect of learning. I mean, as at the children at the younger level, parents play such a huge role in bringing those two things. And it has so many aspects of it. Basically, the good self-esteem and good support system. So probably automatically most of the kids who have a strong motivation able to learn new tasks and new things in life, and that's very much critical for to learn and to succeed in life.
Super, sir. That's really good, sir. Very inspiring and insightful. It's a motivation to do more and the self-esteem. Thank you for adding the value here, doctor. So that's powerful. So my question, the continuation to that question is, many young people are know or taught how to achieve the materialistic success, but may not be know how to also stay healthy while they're achieving the success. Can someone truly succeed in life without prioritizing their mental and physical well-being, doctor?
Yeah, I think in a reality, the mind and the body doesn't know materialistic versus non-materialistic things in life.
Wow.
As long as the body able to function certain way and certain emotions are at the right frequency, and whether they do through materialistic stuff or they through with non-materialistic stuff, either way, no matter where they enter, certain emotion has to be at a certain level where most of the children were not taught. Especially go back to the word of self-esteem. The self-esteem is a byproduct of kids able to do things, not feeling the pain of both body and the mind. And that's not learned, that's not taught well at home and at school levels. They face a lot of problems, especially like if I go back to the self-esteem is nothing but kids who have less anxiety, kids who have don't have to worry about the acceptance and rejection, and don't have to worry about other stuff is not being affected by depression. These things really affect the self-esteem. And also very interestingly, go back to body and the mind. a lot of time, body has to feel good, the mind has to feel good. They're all two, they go hand in hand. A lot of young kids, and especially certain habits, like especially taking care of the health in terms of kids. A lot of time they get into the substance abuse, the drug addiction, get into not able to take care of their body, like keeping weight down, exercise, hobbies, and able to eat the right kind of food. That's very critical even for the mind to work properly. So then it comes in the mind, where the mind able to, they can self teach themselves how to self motivate themselves through a certain technique when they go through rejections, when they're through not able to have an acceptance, and those things, and of course, and also how to stay away from the social medias where they can have so much of hyperstimulations, giving time for themselves, just like taking a sleep and resting. So it's very critical for the young kids to pay attention for that.
Awesome, sir. Sir, we are talking about the topic, doctor, like healthy mind, successful life. So what every young person should know. So doctor is really giving us insightful talk here. So he's talking about motivation, growth warriors, and self-esteem. So also balancing the body and mind. And he says that materialistic success, like body doesn't know, like cannot recognize, or maybe mind recognize. So I think this is the conversation is getting very powerful here, and all the
Yeah,
thanks to all the growth warriors and GEO families joining this conversation.
sure,
So, Doctor, thank you for golden nuggets you are giving us today.
sure.
Um, Thank you. And then we will move on to the next question, continuation to the body and mind health.
Mhm.
After you spent more than 3 decades in medicine, physician as a physician in medical field, doctor. So, what is one lesson about health that you wish every teenager understand before entering into their adulthood? What would be
I
like
think,
lessons
yeah,
maybe?
and I think once they learn the technique of how to handle their emotions, and also I go back to teach them certain technique how to able to enjoy, able to handle some of the emotions. The very interesting thing is we don't know as a children or any young kids, the developing self-esteem is a huge aspect of it, and also the family plays a huge role as well. So what I would recommend is if a child can learn how to manage, I wouldn't say manage, how to able to watch and dissolve those emotions within themselves. Once they have certain amount of emotional stability that they develop, which we can talk about a different topic, or maybe I can, if you have a time, we can talk about that. So once they have that, the stability within their body and the mind, the biggest thing in society is handling the conflict and able to interacting with the people with certain skills, how to do it. So people skill and the conflicts play a major role for their sustenance in the society, especially as a young kid. For that, they have to have the foundation of a strong body and the mind that includes self-esteem and the motivation.
Go, sir. As you are breaking down very, very wisely, I say that self starts from like motivation, self-esteem, body health, mind health, and now you are also breaking down to the people skills and conflict. Are the skills are like majorly we need all the young people
Yeah.
needed before even during the teenager.
Yeah.
That's really powerful, doctor.
Oh,
So
thank you. Thank you.
um, if you could prescribe I say like five daily habits for every student, as we are focusing this conversation on rural students, mainly in India, even also urban students across the world. So, what are the five, daily habits where for every student, if you can prescribe to follow for next 10 years? Now, what would those habits be, doctor?
Sure. But before I go back to the habits, let me explain to you what habits and how painful to develop a new habit.
Yes.
Again, so I encourage all the children, all children, and to develop these skills. It takes time, and it is not easy. Once you do them multiple times, it becomes part of you. Then you don't feel it's an effort. There's a big concept called learn one, do one, and teach one. So if you can learn the concept of habits, number one, the habit for you and habit for the society. The habit for the society is first, let me go back to the habits for themselves. Take care of your body, and most important thing, take care of your mind. And number three, and make sure you become part of the society where you live in. The giving is such an important thing. It brings the mental wellness within you and to the society and the people around you. And those are the third one. And the fourth one is the basically the most important thing I would do. I wouldn't say in habit, but trying to have the mentor. So if you think somebody who can fit into your qualities, whom you see, and reaching out to them and learn the skill from them, it becomes such a huge important thing for any child that they can make it a lot easier to learn. So that's the most important thing. So giving, and also very interesting thing is what I would do is the most important thing is the gratitude and appreciation for a little skill what you learn, and rewarding yourself. That itself is another important thing for a child.
That's really insightful, inspiring points, Doctor. So, body health, mental well-being, and then giving nature, learning nature, and also the main important, the foundation I say is gratitude for
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
That's huge. I say
Yeah.
gratitude.
And also, I go back to say most important thing is when younger children up to the age of 18, we call them as the front part of the brain called the frontal lobe. I wouldn't say they're all pretty smart, but sometimes emotional regulation becomes a big issue because it takes a while for the brain to develop an impulse control. So any emotions, anything you want to act upon it, and it is hard to learn, but it's probably something that's a skill that every children should kind of know that once they get into adulthood, it makes it a lot easy to have their emotional impulses or other impulses, especially that gets into problem like drug addictions and alcohol, smoking, whatever those things that can really, really destroy the youth.
So mainly the EQ portion, emotional quotient.
Oh, it's a huge. The emotional intelligence is a huge part of it. Is let's go back to the basics of like how to handle anxiety, how to handle rejection, how to handle depression. Sometimes it's very difficult when that happens. You reach out to somebody, they can teach you. And if you think there are certain aspects where these things may not help much, sometimes some kids born with some of the disadvantages symptoms like depressions and anxieties, they can reach out to somebody. Even sometimes the medication do work. So I think it's a combination of everything, but 90% of the kids is actually not the mental illness. It is a society and learning some of the skills, as I just said, the emotional intelligence or emotional whatever you call them as.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, those are powerful. It's habits. It's I can say it's
Sure.
advice or suggestions, or what we call. But all these are works basically. These are works because this is coming from the practical, life
Right,
from.
absolutely. I totally agree. It's because it's a painful process because they have to learn. Once it becomes part of them, they will have a very fruitful, I mean, they can be successful as much as they want. Or, I mean, but still, people who have this emotional issue, whether you have success or not, have the success. That's why you see a lot of people who are very successful. You see a high incidence of substance abuse, suicide, those things, especially since it's become an epidemic in that generation here. Those things that children have to pay attention for that.
Yeah, because those happens when we lack these things like the
Yeah,
gratitude
absolutely,
and then balance, EQ balance.
absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay. Doctor, we go to the next question. Like many health problems begin with the small, I don't say bad and all, but I just say many health problems begins with the small choices made during youth, during teenaging or during teenage time or young age. So, what decisions made during the teenage or young adulthood, I say, have biggest impact on long-term health and happiness? Biggest impact on long-term health and happiness, Doctor.
Go back to my. I'm going to go back to my basic first question. Learn the skill of self-esteem. Self-esteem means to learn your emotions, regulate your emotions, and certain things which really impact you is if you can do those things, you can stay away from certain things which most of the kids would get into to stop them to go into the next stage of their life, especially substance abuse, especially uh, the especially alcohol, drugs, and anything. Now that would help a lot. So, I mean, somehow, if you have a problem in having self-esteem and motivation, trying to learn how to achieve the motivation, And also what I would do is, second thing is, the most important thing for the kids, I would say, is role model plays such a huge role, and people can direct them and teach them. And I mean, I'm a strong believer of reach out to somebody where you can see that all your qualities fits into, where they can guide you to a different level in your life.
Yeah, the environment plays bigger,
It's
role.
huge. I mean, that's what exposure. Make sure give them every possibility. So with the new change in the society and with all the social stuff with AI, I'm pretty sure a lot of children are pretty cognizant about all how to learn these things and how to regulate their emotions, because they get to have easy, quick access to these informations.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. So you're talking about like having high self-esteem, staying away from all these chemicals,
Right. Yeah.
unwanted chemicals. Then also having the right people around us, the
That's
role
huge.
models.
That's
That's
huge.
huge,
Yeah.
growth
And they
conducive.
get to pick. I think once they have this, it's almost, I call them as the navigation of life. And once they have this in there within the system, when they look around, they see exactly what they want in their life, and they shape it. And this is the most the intrinsic most inside motive. These factors play such a huge role in whatever they want to pick in their life, and
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. So the final question here, the final input,
Sure.
I say, like the feedback, maybe not feedback, the question. So imagine every student watching this conversation, this episode, is 30 years old. Looking back at this conversation, what is one piece of advice you hope they remember and act upon starting today?
I think these kids have everything. I think, especially in the teens, and the most important thing, what I would go back to is, I wish people teach you the people skill and how to handle the conflict. And number two, how you can self-regulate and your emotions, and that plays a huge role at the workplace, wherever you go, to be very successful, and how to navigate through any of the conflicts, any of the problems, any of the crises they face.
That's powerful actually. So having this people skills and emotional balance, that's really
Yeah,
powerful, doctor. So
thank you.
thank you very much for joining us and
It's my
also giving us
pleasure.
the
Yeah, and thank.
inspiring lessons, I say, from your life. And you spent 3 decades in medicine field. You've seen thousands and thousands of patients. You also educate them, not just medicate them, educate them. So I think it's all a golden practical, wisdom. So, and this is powerful, I say. And Growthcast is all about, inspired by Swami Vivekananda's values and, all the Growthcast warriors. Thank you very much for joining today's conversation.
Oh,
Uh, Thank you, doctor, for
thank you for
giving us the
thank
precious
you for
time
having
today.
me, and have a wonderful day. Talk